kingdom of heaven is available to all. And it all hinges on this one thing. So that one thing is humility. Humility is the key to knowing the divine truth, the truth which some call God, which I call God. But you don't have to use the word God if you don't like the word God. But receiving the illumination from this higher force of loving intelligence that is essentially orchestrating our life. And it is orchestrating your life, I promise you. And this will become obvious to you. It'll become absolutely undeniable to you when you drop your resistance, when you drop your arrogance, when you open your ears and your mind and you're willing to accept new information, even if you think you know it all already, even if you think you don't need any more information, even if you think you've heard it all before. I'm here to speak to you, speak to your heart, and ask you just to be humble, just to be receptive, because humility is receptivity. Exactly what humility is. When our heart is receptive, and our ears are receptive, and our mind is receptive, that is the state of humility. Humility keeps us open. Whereas arrogance, on the contrary, closes our ears, it closes our mind, and it closes our heart. This is why arrogance is the biggest problem the human species faces at this moment in time. So of course the solution to this big problem is to become humble. That means to drop your defenses, stop being so defensive, and be willing to accept that maybe there's something you don't know. Be willing to accept that maybe everyone you encounter has something to teach you, or has something to give you, a gift to give you, if you keep your ears open, keep your heart open. And of course there's many reasons why we'd want to close our heart, close our ears, and close our mind. You know, most people don't want to encounter their vulnerability, they don't want to encounter their pain. And in communication, when there's open and honest communication, then we are called to be more vulnerable. We are called to be more transparent and open. And that means we have to reveal ourselves. We have to show who we are. We can't hide. If we're being open and vulnerable, we cannot hide. So the big problem is we have in our world is that everybody's hiding. Everybody wants to hide because they're scared that if they show who they really are, if they show their vulnerability, then they'll be wounded, injured. They will suffer pain and disappointment. Of course, this is perfectly understandable because as children, this is what happened to most of us. You know, we're in this wide open state of joy and wonder and receptivity, and then we suddenly encountered these strong emotions from our parents: anger, disappointment. And this was painful to this innocent, vulnerable, pure heart to suddenly have these aggressive emotions that come from a disapproving parent. Then that's when we first closed our heart, because we didn't want to hear that voice. We didn't want to hear that voice of criticism or condemnation or anger from our parent. We wanted our parent to love us unconditionally, to never get angry, to never lose their love of us. But this isn't really relevant. It doesn't really matter why we are scared of being open and vulnerable. The fact is, most of us are scared of being open and vulnerable. And that means instead of loving, we judge. We judge each other instead of loving each other, because judging is a very clever trick by the ego to make you think you're doing something intelligent. It's saying, yes, you're smart to judge this person. What you're doing, this process of judging that person, analysing them and seeing their faults, this is intelligent, this is good. However, how intelligent is it to separate ourselves from love and compassion and essentially healing? Because that's the only thing that can heal us. Keeping our heart open and having loving interactions with all the people we meet, compassionate interactions with all the people we meet. That's the only thing that can heal our heart. The only thing. Only love can heal our heart. And guess what? The most important thing you need is for your heart to be healed. It's the number one priority for you, for me, for every human being on this planet. Our heart needs healing. What does that mean? It means we need to let go of the darkness. We need the light, the universal light of love, what you could call God. We need the light to illuminate our heart and cast out all the shadows, which means casting out the fear. This needs to happen on a very practical and real level. This needs to happen in our own heart. The light of love needs to come into our heart and cast out the shadows of darkness and fear and pain. That's why the Bible says, perfect love casts out fear. Because it's the only way. It's the only way to have a heart which is free of fear and free of darkness. Love is the only way. So we have this battle on this planet now, this battle where fear is, through the media, fear is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and everyone's fearing more and more and more for the future. But what's really happening is that we're being tricked into losing our connection to love. We're being tricked into cutting off the source of our life, the source of our being. We're being tricked into disconnecting ourselves from the one thing we need more than anything else, which is the love of God. We're being tricked, hypnotized by the media to think all these things are going to happen in the future. All these nightmarish situations, this dystopian, totalitarian hell. We're being hypnotized by the media to take ourselves as far away from love as possible and go into this fearful delusion, which is being created in here, by the way. No matter how likely you think this is to occur, it's still happening in here. Look around you right now. Are you free? Do you have a home? Do you have food? Do you have shelter? Do you have a warm bed you can climb into at the end of the day? Do you have people around you? Where is this dystopian nightmare? It's always in the future, and that's the trick of the ego. The ego wants you to live in the fear of the future. And you might say, well, yes, but all these things are going to come, all these things are happening, all these things are going to unfold, it's going to be like that. There's nothing I can do about it, or I must do something about it, I must fight the system, fight the government, etc., etc. That's still coming from this hypnosis that the media has planted in your mind. You have to come back to this moment. Look around you, be in this moment, and understand that what you need more than anything else is more light in your heart. That's what you need more than anything else, I promise you. This is the utmost priority for you right now, is more light in your heart, which means more peace in your heart, more love in your heart. And essentially, the way we allow that to occur is by letting go of the resistance in our heart. And resistance is tension. We must let go of the tension in our heart and say, okay, I've got all these thoughts in my mind telling me that I should be in a state of tension, a state of fear. I'm going to ignore them all, no matter how convincing they seem, no matter how sure I am that they're all accurate. I'm going to let them all go, and I'm going to allow myself to feel safe in this moment. I'm going to allow myself to relax my heart in this moment and relax my body in this moment. And if you do that, see what happens. Because if you do that, your reality will change. And you must remember that your reality is right here, right now. It is not in the future. You can't do anything about your future self. You cannot do anything about the future reality which you're so sure is going to happen. You must address reality here and now. The only access point you have to reality is right here, right now. And you're experiencing it through here and through here. And of course through your body as well, your emotional being as well. So you must address reality right here, right now. Where is your mind? Is your mind in all these thoughts or any thoughts? Let go of those thoughts and just have one thought in your mind. I am safe. I am safe. In fact, that's all you need. I am safe. Just have that one thought in your mind. I am safe. And trust that that is true. I am safe. If you want to add to that, you can say, I am safe and I am protected and I am loved. Because that's what you really need. Safety, protection and love. So tell yourself, and don't argue with those thoughts. See what happens when you allow those simple 3 thoughts to dwell in your mind. I am safe, I am protected, and I am loved. Relax your body as you can contemplate those thoughts. Relax your body, relax your heart, and just allow the tension to disappear from your body and your heart. And allow your heart to open up. Drop any resistance, because we live in a world which is encouraging us to resist everything, to resist the present moment. We are being convinced, conditioned, hypnotized into resisting this very moment, which means being in fear in this moment, or being in tension, because tension is fear and fear is resistance. Fear creates resistance. When we're afraid of something, we resist it. So all these thoughts about the bad things, they create a tension and a resistance in our heart. And then we cannot be open. We cannot allow in the force that needs to come into our heart, which is divine love. The only thing that can save you, the only thing which can illuminate you, the only thing you need, the thing you're longing for, divine illumination and peace. And it's right there at the door waiting for you to relax your heart, to unbolt the door, to take down the barricade of resistance and tension and fear. Let the barricade of tension in your heart fade away and say, it's safe to relax. I am safe in this moment. I am protected in this moment. It is safe to be in a state of relaxation. And not only is it safe, it is intelligent to be in a state of relaxation. It's intelligent to be in a state of openness. Because when you're open, you receive what you most need. And you won't get it any other way. You won't get it on the internet. You won't get it scrolling through YouTube. You won't get it anywhere. This is the only way for you to get what you most desperately need, what your heart is longing for. And what will save you is to let the tension disappear from your heart. Relax your heart, relax your body, and feel at ease in this moment, so that things can flow, so your blood can flow, so your oxygen can flow, and most importantly, so that love can flow into your heart from the spiritual source, which is God, divine love from the source, so that can flow into your heart. And then that can circulate around your being. This is vital. If you're preventing this from occurring, you are essentially drowning yourself. It's like a fish closing its gills in the ocean. Don't do this. Don't close your gills to the only thing that's keeping you alive, the only thing that will save you. Don't close your gills. Let go of the tension. Relax. Breathe. And just to let yourself be safe in this moment. Ignore any thought which wants to tell you to tense up, or to go back into those thoughts, back into your mind, and think about everything. Ignore all thoughts, because they all come from the ego, and the ego is a tool of evil. The ego is a parasite placed into your being, which is designed to feed off your negative emotions. So the ego operates in our mind, and it gives us all these thoughts to create negative emotions. Even positive thoughts that come from the ego, any thoughts which come from the ego, will eventually lead to negative thoughts, because it's a dualistic realm. So even positive thoughts, like the yin-yang, the positive thoughts will lead to the negative thoughts. And so the ego is essentially a parasite which is trying to create negative emotions in your body through the thoughts it gives you, so that it can feed off those negative emotions. That's exactly what the ego is. It's a spiritual parasite which wants negative energy. It wants to feed off your negative energy so it can get a stronger grip on you. It can remain in control of you, because the ego is a control mechanism. And when we're in the grip of the ego, you can see this in people who have a strong ego, we become a more controlling person. We want to control others. We want to orchestrate everything. We want to manipulate. And so we have to let go of the control. We have to relax our hands, because it's our hands which control gets into. We want to, we can feel that we want to keep a tight grip on everything. We can't control life. We can't control other people, and we do not need to. Let go of the control. Let go of the desire and the need to control, and say, it is safe to let go of control. I trust that if I let go of control, everything will be okay. You have to trust that. Because if you don't trust that, then you will want to stay in control. And then you will continue to suffocate yourself. You will continue to keep your gills closed and your heart tight, because you think that, because you're afraid. Control is based on fear. We control because we're afraid of what will happen if we don't control. So you've got to find out, what happens if I don't try and control everything? Take 3 days, and in all the areas where you'd normally try and control everything, all the situations and circumstances and social interactions where you'd be controlling or try and exert your control, make a conscious effort not to do that. Just step back, take your hands off the wheel and say, okay, what's going to happen? What will happen? And you will see, and I promise you will see, because I've been doing this for 23 years or 25 years, or you will see that things have a wonderful way of working out in your favor. Because life is working for you. Life wants you to heal. You use the word God, life, the universe, the creator, the source. It wants you to heal. It wants to heal you. It wants you to let go of your tight grip of control and relax and open up like a flower in the sunshine and receive what it wants to give you. It's trying to give you everything you need. You have to let go of your resistance, which is your tension and your fear. Let go of it all. Relax your heart, relax your body, and want it. Want the healing. Want the light. Want the peace. Want the freedom. You have to want it. Because if you want to stay in control, then God or whatever force that you sense is greater than yourself is not going to force you to let go. There is no force which is going to force you to let go of your control. Because love does not force, and love does not control. The force of love, or divine love, is waiting for you to decide to let go. You have to decide. You have to decide to want to let go. You have to decide to want to heal. You have to decide to want to be a more humble, gentle, and loving person. If that's what you really want, when you've decided to want those things, when you've decided that those things are the most important desires to hold in your heart, and you choose to let go, you choose to be more gentle with people, you choose not to judge, but to be more understanding and forgiving, when that's what you want, when you want to be that kind of a person, then God helps you. Love supports you. Love is working with you, and that's how you become a more loving person, a more forgiving person, a more gentle person. And as that happens, you become filled with the Spirit of God, or the Spirit of love, or whatever you want, whatever words you want to call. It's beyond understanding. As you become a more loving, forgiving, and less controlling person, then you become illuminated. Your heart grows richer, and you want to give, you want to share what's in your heart, you want to help other people. And this is a secret to life, is to allow yourself to receive and to be filled with the love of the universe, so that you can share it with other people, because that is your purpose. So please take the steps in this moment, in every moment. Let go of this reality of fear. Let go of the reality of thoughts. Let go of this idea of the future, and look at what's happening right now. Are you in fear? Are you in tension? Are you lost in thoughts? Come out of that reality and see what's happening in your heart and in your body. Look at the reality of your body. and your heart. Calm yourself. Allow your emotions to calm down. Relax your heart and say, I want healing. I want healing. I want to be healed. I want to be a more loving person. I want to be a more forgiving person. Please help me. God, or please help me. Love, whatever word you want to use. Ask for help. Just ask for help. Open your heart. Be humble and ask for help. And you will see you have the help you need. It is right there. It's just waiting for you to want it. So let me ask you, is that really what you want? Do you really want healing? Do you really want to be healed by love? Do you really want your heart to be free of darkness, pain, anger and fear? Because if you do want that, then open up. Let go of your fear. Let go of your resistance. Let go of your anger and aggression. Relax your heart. Open up and receive the help, the love and the healing that is waiting for you. So thank you for listening to this talk. I wish you well, and God bless you.